I'm not actually nervous when I pour out a camera. Gerald, for fuck's sakes. Are you alcoholic? Um, but, no, my ex-boyfriend Baker got mad at me for, like, speaking really religious truths, and, like, got really abusive with me, and, like, to the point where, like, I had to. Okay, first of all, Haley has always been extremely ignorant, and, like, I wouldn't have her in the group any other way, actually. But Eminem quote, I don't even like to differentiate the two of us anymore, but she hated it. I've been going off about religious truths for an hour. I almost OD'd, and, like, while I was unconscious, I thought it was reality, and, like, the person who was with me, friggin', I was like, oh, no, like, we had an okay night, like, we went to go see my dad at church. We went to church with my dad, was what I was saying. Or we went to church and we visited my dad, was what I said. But, actually, I just G'd out. My dad lives in Oshawa. And I also did, like, 3 other drugs today. Like, at least. Oh, yeah, and drank almost a whole 2-6. And, like, they were hard drugs. But, like, yeah, I have no fucking shame. I did fentanyl. I was thinking about it since last night. A little bit of Tina, but everybody want to look like Tina. And I was smoking hard too, which I always, like, I enjoy hard. It's probably your drug of choice. But I wasn't like that. I actually used to compare Baker to Kim, even though he was the one who raised the skateboard to me, actually. But, like, he hated Haley. Like, I remember Haley said her favorite song for a little while was, like, the Black, but, like, spelled with the 6. And fucking, his nickname was literally Skater Boy, but he clearly doesn't know where to come from. He's like, clearly the guy has problems. He doesn't even know how to spell. That's a fucking number, not even a letter. Like, pardon? It was actually one of my favorite tags in Toronto, too. Weirdly enough. But I've probably even mentioned it. Like, I think I've taken a picture of it. I think I have. And, yeah. It's, keeps 6, but it has a backwards E, or, like, a 3, which is also half of 6. And, D12 used to call Marshall partial. And I took it an even step further and turned it into absolute fucking retardation. And I called him partial Bruce Plathers the third, the plathiest of all the Plathers. And, yeah, we just went off about a whole lot of religious truth. And it was very spiritual music playing in the background. It started with going to church to see my dad, and then I exposed, like, a whole bunch of stuff about, like, the reasoning behind the Hells Angels, and, like, originally, like, you know, before Haley and Haley over there, because I just started going by Haley. It was an alias when I first started identifying as it, because I was threatened by gangs. And then she reveals it, or whatever. Holy shit. Um, um, this is also the ghost symbol in Japanese. And, like, my brother Dane likes it because he likes lesbians. But, I mean, who doesn't? Aren't they, like, known for, like, having a sense of humor? So is Haley, though. So, Mecha Streisand still. Dressed up as Mad Child. Hi, young children. I need the triangle of Xanthar. Or whatever. Was it her fucking nose? I'm kidding. That was me. She's wearing a fake nose. I like big noses. Lady Gaga has one, and my dad has one. His is fake. But I used to think that Lady Gaga had the most beautiful nose when I was a kid. In fact, I did sculpture. I did quite a few sculptures of her. Greetings, you Greek bitch. With a nose like that on her arrow, she is fucking Greek. That's a quote from Sherry, by the way. Oh yeah. What was it? Paul shakes naturally. He used to do it when he was lifting me up like a weight as a child. He used to carry me on his shoulders too. And his celebrity crush is Jennifer Aniston. So I used to really like it. But then me and Marshall and Kim went to court. So now it's literally sit on the bench. But they let me sit on the back bench. Because they knew that Haley would have appreciated it. Oh yeah, and then I was supposed to get a tattoo, but I was fucking unconscious for like 12 hours. But I had somebody making sure that I was continuing to breathe. And yeah, I'm getting the back piece of the scorpion, actually. I'm getting an E on my thumb. I think I've already explained this. I've wanted to get it for a long time. I think even when I had tone deaf written on the back of my hand, I wanted the E on my thumb. No, I'm getting it because Haley got raped. I'm getting it for the rap game, actually. Eminem especially. He really liked that fucking kid. And like, well, no, he worshipped her. Haley gets uncomfortable when people don't. She always used to, and she has shitty ears. My dad, Paul, had plaque psoriasis, actually, and somehow I knew I was just gonna get it. Well, actually, I used to wear, like, when I reached a certain age, my dad started letting me wear his Dr. Dre coat. My dad's like a main character from like a fucking cartoon. He never changes his outfit. But what was I about to say? Yeah, whatever. Haley has two dads. Paul is gay. And, well, Paul's not actually gay. He just went to the car factory with a pin on his back that said, I'm gay, because, like, Brittany, the one who would have married Leonard Murphy if he hadn't committed suicide, stuck it to his back when he went to the car factory and thought it was funny. She kind of looks like Brittany Murphy, too. And I always said it was fucking Patrick with the gold paint or whatever. And a lot of people remind me of Big Proof. Patrick with the gold plate. Ladle. Just fucking paint in the face as he's controlling a ghost ship. What a wild fucking show, dude. And it was looking at your best friend in class and fucking can't, like, laughing for absolutely no, because you guys made eye contact. Aww. That's cute, because I do have the right color and you do have the right number. Wait. Yeah. Because there's two of us. Like I said, Yeah, it's called partial. And that's why, yeah, the keepsakes that we want to see everywhere in Toronto is my favorite thing ever. I find it to be a religious, um, you know, piece of art. Which, I mean, like, I always used to make the joke because I was literally contracted by the Kurt, the fifth? Yeah, the fourth, the fifth, they're different. And Gracie's milky eyes. Um, Marshall. What was I saying? It'll make a lot of sense. Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, and I'm getting a scorpion back piece, but my dad hated his scorpion tattoo, and he just got it covered up with a rose. And I used to hallucinate that the roses on Marshalls, and this literally went on 4 years consistently, like and like it's not like I never looked at the fucking guy. I was like studying him because I was, you know, the child, and I was pretty self-centered. I don't. um, and yeah, I hallucinated them as daisies because the hallucinogens are on the left. Well, actually, God's the real hallucinogen. We know that, right? Like, fucking stimulants calm down people with ADHD. And I remember one night, doing a hit of like shitty weed, and like, I've never done acid, but if I had to fucking guess, dude. And then the next morning, I smoked the same weed, and I was like, yeah. Well, but, I kind of already knew that. How come there's 8 warnings at the St. Joe's fucking hospital waiting room that says, do not sit? Like, why do you guys have a chair that has do not sit written on it multiple times? I literally asked the doctors one day, I'm like, is this a Slim Shady joke? Me and Marshall always joked that I was touring the short form is actually ER or EM, depending on who writes it, I guess. And then, are you bringing the doctor on tour with you? Like I said, I used to wear that, and I've reminded you guys, I literally have a remix of it on my Facebook. I don't know if I can get it off my Facebook though, which pisses me off. I prefer Instagram for that reason, even though, like, same creator, I'm pretty sure. Aw. I fucking lost my favorite golf wang sweater today when I was it was long before I went unconscious. Actually, I'm just unobservant. But after I went unconscious, somebody let me wear this one to cheer me up, and it really goes well with Haley's green bandana. And I think it's funny that my dad's colorblind, or like me metaphorically. And like literally, I saw 2 clips of that, and like, again, for some reason, like, I was always an unattended child in my dreams, and then I thought about it for a second. I was like, wasn't I usually like an unattended child in reality too? Like, isn't that like me and Marshall have a whole fucking saying on that? Like, that's why we say Luda all the fucking time. And like, it's Tim scripting Script walking, singing "It's Nothing But a She Thing, Baby." Because it's from the Skrillex music video. And it's the kid. I think I did own that sweater at one point. It was another gift from Brittany. From 8 Mile. Oh yeah. And those funny laced ears were a gift from like. Well, no, it was Rihanna really loved her dad because Rihanna used to copy my hairstyles. Well, when I was like a fucking 12-year-old. And I followed a fucking pedophile on Twitter, but he worked really hard to keep away from the public view that he was a fucking pedophile. And he was like, he tried to kill Haley. Like, actually, though, but like, he thinks his secret's safe with a piss or something. I don't know. Or wait, no. Was it snack? Who cares? Absolute garbage. And yeah, I guess that's where the fight like really fucking came in. He realized he was fucking caught. He had nothing to lose. So, I mean, wouldn't that qualify as self-defense? Sorry, not to be that person, but 9597 here. Christmas Devil's Night and Susan. What was it? 5 seconds later? 50, what was it? $60 fucking what you selling that patch for. Right? And then the lawyer that I went to court with was a Jew, and we were there to bust my friend Damien out of jail. And yeah, he's the one who wears the big proof shirt in pink from Mean Girls, you know, with Katie Holmes, because Damien was my fucking friend. Or, sorry, whatever the fuck her name was. You know, because there's like 2 E's in Eminem. And Haley dreamt about Monster Blood. Except for Haley didn't dream. Haley had night terrors. Or she didn't fucking sleep most of the time. I assume somewhere, like, I might be wrong, Marshall, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I taught you a lot about not having to sleep. I mean, like, fuck, dude, I wanted to do the same shit as a teenager, but, you know, like, I used to fucking quote Baker because you never knew what the fuck he was talking about. And, like, drawing attention, like, dragging out boulders and shit, being bait. Dragging out boulders and shit. So I started laughing with Marshall, and then he would literally, and, like, this is when I realized, like, seriously, like, oh, fuck, I'm being abused. Like, he would, like, look at me and be like, why the fuck are you laughing? What the fuck's wrong with you? Like, he got upset when Haley would smile. And then he would fucking scream at her that there's no such thing as God and call her a fucking schizo. And, like, you just don't say that shit to Haley, actually. They package prescriptions as Skittles in Oshawa. In the hospital, in the pharmacy. Well, I mean, doesn't Eminem have multiple skits entitled Paul? In fact, I just had a friend who had a husband whose name was Paul, who, you know, had been slapped with a stupid label of schizophrenia. But there's usually, quite honestly, a deeper problem. Haley never had voices in her head. And the entire world went to shit after Haley got raped. Like she says, weed used to make you laugh. Remember? And what else was it? Another something that had like a completely different effect afterwards. Like recently I've been hearing The Weeknd sounding kind of like bitch ass. What was it that I fucking said? I'll remember it. But something had like a totally different effect afterwards. I mean, like a lot of things really did. Haley had her first panic attack when she came home from being raped. Not only that, but she got physically abused by her brother, and like kind of like her dad just straight up made fun of her. But I mean, who do you think Haley gets it after? Like Paul gave no fucks. He said, that's why it was Vern Troyer outside 50 Cent's trailer or whatever. The story ended up getting so fucked. And then because the weirdest part of the story is that Marshall is standing naked in front of a window with a bunch of people around. But like that just zooms over everybody's head like a lot of shit. Like it's almost as bad as fucking In the Air in the Night and dyeing your head with medical grade peroxide. And that was the other thing I wanted to point out. My brother threatened to drink bleach. My friend from elementary school did actually drink bleach, and it was household fucking bleach, which burns your skin. Like the Susan bleach burns your skin. I just saw my friend drink hydrogen peroxide, which Marshall used to dye his hair, and they claimed Paul used to dye his hair as well, like my dad, but that shouldn't work. Cream bleach is what you actually dye your hair with. Shill is a hairdresser, I know that. And she's a very nice lady. I believe at one point Haley wanted that career. She went as far as to get signed up for the hairdressing school that, like, remember the Rory from Oshawa? Like, the one that Harley Quinn started the fucking fund for afterwards? Or, like, I guess it was just the Hells Angels in general, right? I was gonna attend that hair school, like, right there. So, like, I don't know. That would have been fucked up, right? I ended up not being able to go. I was fucking probably hospitalized against my will again. And I really don't like it. Fucking Baker put me in the hospital once. But luckily it was just demonic sickness, which, like, a lot of times I can get away with, like, labeling. Actually, sometimes I can't. My blood is fucked up really bad before. Big surprise there. But one time it was, my blood sugar was, like, so low I was unconscious. And, like, they had to wake me up. Like, it was at a diabetic level, and they had to wake me up to find out whether or not I was diabetic before they gave me insulin. And I sat up, said no, and then passed back out. My grandmother also was legally pronounced dead, and, like, she was dead for, like, a while. And yeah, fucking after, like, an unreasonable amount of time, she had blanket over her head and fucking everything. She sat up. Well, she had emphysema, and she had everything but half a lung removed. And so she lived. I think she died in my dad's, like, when my dad was almost, like, I think my dad was like 30 when he had me, because she died right before I was born. Like just before, but it was after my dad was married and had Dane already. So, yeah. Um, yeah, but I would consider that to be fucking resurrection. Like, I don't know why people took that so lightly back in the day, but like, and it doesn't happen very often anymore. They used to keep bells in graves. I'll fucking kill you, Jeffrey. We are not the same. I am too reckless. Whatever, I hardly differentiate. Even though that's just like his wife, isn't it? Throw a good Kim in there for rationalize it for Haley or whatever. the Detroit Haley. I remember one day this girl, she looked like Harley Quinn, like, and like dead ass she did. Like in like Birds of Prey though, because she had like the full like, and hers wasn't overalls, it was a jumpsuit. Haley has like a combination of the two on, and me and Marshall call it the fucking. For a while we started saying the orange jumpsuit apparatus, but that's Normal, ain't it, Norman? But yeah, she had a rainbow one on, and Haley likes rainbow a lot because rain always made her happy, and like she was she wasn't actually, her older brother was like a hardcore lesbian, and she just thought it was cool and like didn't really actually understand what like attraction was, and she just thought like me Cash, you understand why people are laughing, right? You just said you were gay. Yes. Whatever. Me Cash, you think gay means happy, don't you? Yes. My brother used to make me super happy, and like I just thought he was badass, and like, you know, I yeah, I didn't understand. So yeah, for a while there I like I walk around like, you know, some people call it confidence, some people call it ignorance, some people call it douchebaggery. I prefer to be called Haley and all those things because they're fucking hilarious. Two trailer park girls come round me outside. I assumed. Isn't that why I wrote Paulette on my hand? Whatever, it makes me want a hot dog real bad. Because Tyler the Creator used to dress up like my dad. And that's who I see when I look at the stars. Like I said, I used to wear a pentagram, and like literally everybody thought I was fucking Jewish for a while. People would be like, oh, I didn't know you were Jewish. And I was like, actually, you're hallucinating, but Lucy's gonna love this one, guys. And that was the way to tell. If for some reason Wasaga Beach, like in my like I want to say it was like grade 2 or like grade 3. Me and Scott did it together. You. I don't feel as though anybody should have their reputation protected. I understand that he was a kid, but he was like 5 years older than me. And, you know, he was at an age where boys start being perverts. And Haley got really messed up by that, actually. You know, Sandy, when good sons go bad, that was Sandy's son. He's the one who wears the Toy Soldiers music video shirt. This is gonna be... It's not gonna be too long for TikTok. Marshall has a TikTok now. For a while there. It just didn't feel the same. I used to tag Haley. Because I was like, it's the closest I can literally get. And like, I don't know, I guess I would be the middleman. I'll be the flaming bag of shit if nobody here wants to. Well, whatever I said. I decided to start being a douchebag in the elevator in court because I was completely silent in the elevator with my mad child when he was threatening my life. Sorry, I was about to say it. God. Ooh. That was good. That's what I wanted. I wanted the clothing store. And I'm glad that it ended up being in Oshawa because I used to fucking post the Oshawa prepare to be amazed sign sarcastically everywhere. And so did a lot of other people in Oshawa. Because yeah, you're gonna be fucking amazed. And fucking Darko, you're gonna see me T-Rexing in what? No. How did I forget the name? I almost call it Union Park. That's not the fucking name of it. You know, the one, like, straight downtown, like, right near the patty shop. Damn, it's been a while. Yeah, I'm not really allowed on my father's property right? I don't know if you know anything about, like, leases or restraining orders, Marshall, but yeah, I'm not allowed on my father's property. And, well, actually, it's my brother's property. He's the one on the lease. That's why I'm not allowed. And we can't be around each other for 5 seconds without me getting the shit beaten out of. So, yeah. I mean, I can't really go anywhere without getting beaten the shit out of, right? Like I said, I cared about my ex. He's a dick, clearly. He wouldn't even stop living off. I had to yell, fucking, run, idiot, run! And then I was like, wait, was I quoting Eminem or Forrest Gump? Either way, absolute fucking inspirations to my life. Oh, I get it. I was confused. I was like, no. I had like an autistic obsession with that movie. Here's normal. Haley's right about here. She watches this movie about twice a day, every day. And I owned like 2 other movies. I think I watched them like once or twice. And nah. Forrest Gump was just that fucking amazing to me. It's still my favorite movie. I can quote every line. Every verse, every line. As simple as nursery rhymes. Or whatever. And then fucking Grumpy. Like, I guess another one of my exes. Like, we didn't have like a super public relationship, obviously. Even though that was difficult for Haley, believe me. But, I mean, she made you happy for the while that you were around or whatever. And, you know, you made her happy too, actually. You took her to Chick-fil-A and shit. I made her happy. Isn't that a quote from some TV show my brother watches called Big Mouth? This reminds me of a cross between Jesse Reyes and Snack the Ripper. And it's funny because that's exactly what Snack the Ripper does. And it has a cat's eye. And it looks like a stab mark, but also I remember me and my brother my dad thinks cats are weird. And my dad had a touchy great uncle. Or wait, I had a touchy great uncle. My dad had a touchy uncle. And cats also like went through like this phenomenon. That was the other phenomenon. Cats suffocating children in their sleep. I understand why this is happening. I mean, I was even ruder about it. Because Mad Child, like, literally, like, suffocated me unconscious with his, like, flabby old man ass. Like, not a joke. I woke up and didn't remember shit. But, like, I do remember the last thing he did was demand anal oral sex from me. I was not asked. And, like, I probably would have said I'm fucking uncomfortable with that. But, I mean, like, I didn't get the opportunity, actually. And also, I was pretty drugged up with I don't know what. It's fucked up. Well, no, the thing is, when you're not raping somebody, usually just tell them what drugs you're giving them. Right? But, I mean, like, that's happened to Haley an unusual amount in her life. The first time she got told methadone was Vicodin, took more methadone than Marshall, but then immediately projectile vomited it so it didn't die. Like, fuck. and then she was a bitch about it and used to write Marshall Hart's comas, like, all, like, in crayon, like, because that was the first way she ever saw her father do, like, graffiti. And, like, she used to think she was badass doing it on the schoolyard with her friends. And then, like, she got told it was an actual crime. And she was just like, what? And I felt bad. I heard fashion killer. But, what was it? Oh yeah, something more modern to do with graffiti, but it was fuck. I just had it. Something she used to write in crayon. Oh yeah, Marshall Hart's comas, and then she used to she used to sometimes identify by her real name, even though when she first got raped, she didn't. If, like, she wasn't around her family, she was being tracked by gangs, and she didn't get to say much to her mother when she did come home because she was so fucked up. And she didn't even want to sit in front of the window because her mother's old apartment, she doesn't live there anymore. So, I mean, I hope the blood gang is still sitting out there waiting for somebody to walk, like, to sit in front of. There's a huge window covering half of her apartment, and that is the only place Haley used to sit. You can ask Gerald. He has my mom's full cabinet in the background of one of his videos at the time. But, like, all I would do is sit there and watch G-Eazy videos all day. I was fucking, like, super into this guy. And he has his biker jacket is my favorite verse from the Bible. If thine eye is so full of light, how great is the darkness? And it's like, it should be a mantra for, like, you know, some gang from Oshawa. Obviously, I like the name of the game. Haley's ignorant as fuck still. She dresses up as Harley Quinn and says you can just call me Oshawa. Haley does not fucking care, actually, dude. And Sherry says, that's a dead ringer for you. And some guy, when she won the Harley, it wasn't a Harley Quinn costume contest, it was an Oshawa costume contest. And when she won the costume contest, somebody said, yeah, I just can't argue with that. I don't know who it was, but yeah, it was a costume contest, and she looked exactly like the fucking character. Probably just a really big fan of Suicide Squad. And the Party City in Oshawa had the blank version of the coat. And, like, Haley kind of wanted to design her own. And that's not the coat that Party City. No, T to the O, motherfucker. Ain't nothing silly about me. But anyways. No, I don't like that word. You sound lame when you say that, actually. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, had the blank one that was just half red silk, half black silk. And I wanted to design my own shit in the back. Things that have religious significance to me, like the drawings that I literally always fucking do, it's all symbolism. $160? No way. With the frizz? No way. But yeah, and I swear to God, I think that's why meth heads get stuck staring out their window. I had a friend who she thinks she went into fucking cocaine psychosis too, because she believed that there was fucking gangs following her around. And she was like, I have no clue why the fuck I thought that, dude. And I was like, man, it's probably Haley, to be honest. Which, I mean, Haley's a gang. And she prefers the pronouns God and King. And she doesn't like pedophiles. And, like, actually, she's so, like... Was gutless a good term or a bad term? I don't remember. I also use retarded the same fucking way. Because, like... I think it was my dad told me the biggest gangster in the world was a fucking retard. Like, Al Capone had, before his, the end of his time period, it was, literally, deemed that he had the mental capacity of a 12-year-old. And, he was super mentally retarded.